Hello everyone and welcome back to Abundant Automation. So, the last few things we need to do for the whole oil processing, at least for the time being, will be to upgrade this to fit. Well, I think we'll just go for a blue belt, even though we don't have a blue belt just yet. Yeah, so where do we need to end up? This recipe takes 1 second to craft, and the crafting speed of a chem plant is 1.25. So we do produce 1.25 times 2 plastic bars per second. So that's 2.5 per second, and a blue belt holds 40, so we need, what, 16? Is that correct? Yeah. 16 chemical plants. Oh, so let's do it. Let's take you for a minute. Put you away. We'll also want, once again, some chemical plants here. 12 of them to be precise. Well, to be fair, we wouldn't quite have needed them. But anyway, let's do this and that. And yeah, I think that's it. We can just take this and say, alright, that's 4, 8, 12, and 16. We can reset this. Yeah, bringing me stuff. I know. And we do have red belt here. That's, of course, not necessary. And we ran out of blue. But momentarily our little buggers are coming and bringing us more. Alright, so that is coal. And plastics are being produced. Now on every side, what do we want to make the cut? We have 8 on either side, so here doesn't quite work. Well, we can just do it here. It's after 5, it doesn't really matter. So let's do this and that. I'm going to bring them over down here, join them there, and then that'll most definitely be one full red belt, which we won't be using anyway. Oh well, you know what, let's just take this and bring it all the way down there, so that we're done with this plastics business. Right now we're missing blue belts. Already trying to bring me stuff. I think I'm gonna take even more. There you go. What do you want to take? Sometimes I feel a little bad running away from my robots all the time, but then again, that's what they're for. If they're not mods robots, they should just try to speed up a little. Life waits for no one. Something like that. Now we have this very odd piece there. No, well. Alright, and then here, that's this. And that's already enough. So it would seem we are about fed up down here. That's nice. Well, these are still producing, so let's help them produce whatever they're producing a little faster. Also here. Also, it's probably about time to go up to productivity and do them as well. So you'll be taking from there, you'll be taking from there. It's just an exact mirror image of the other thing. He says, putting it off center. There you go. So there's one of them up there. Can just take a copy of that. And there's right there. And then obviously those need to they need to feed in there. We need to make another red and green line down here. That will be there momentarily. Now we want to do productivity 2 here. We want productivity 3 in the center and 1s all along the backside. That won't work. No, let's do the... why? Why would you feel compelled to? Indeed. Oh well. Can't be helped. Also, all of this not necessary any longer. Yeah, it's for these kinds of situations that I sometimes think it would be better not to have the thing. What's it called? The pocket bots. We'll see about that. Alright, so that's red and that's gonna be green. And why am I? Ah, of course. The answer to that is yes, I am. Alright, so there isn't really a reason to continue this rebalancing and waiting for something else down the line any longer, but well, I'm going to continue it anyway. So I'm being told that side loading will obtain full compression with 0.13, which would be a nice change. Alright, down here we definitely want a smart inserter, and we don't specifically want to talk about that chest. I just want to say, alright, say we have less than 100 productivity module 3s. It seems about right, and then you will be duplicated over there. And that's wrong. Why is it wrong though? Ah, come on. Ah. Oh, there you go. Must have had a little inability to see straight there, but that's I think about the correct setup. Alright, so far so good. I think we can now leave this at rest and leave it producing for a while. I don't think we're going to be able to keep up this amount of plastics production for very long, but one can try. Yeah, we'll upgrade all of this in due time, but for the time being, I just want my Railyard. It's probably not the most sensible thing to put that so high on the priority list, but I want it. And I want it now. Alright, so how are we going to do this? I think the space we have right here, this little nook here, is about the right size to fit what I want to do. So we won't do any looping for these because these trains will be double-headed. Question is how many of those will there be? So let's see, if we have the FAL, the outpost builder, the disposal train, concrete train, in some order or another, that would leave us there. We could have passenger train, maybe even 2, who knows, maybe this world will become open to multiplayer someday. And then that would be that, I guess. But then what? We have these stations. Where do we feed them into the main line? I don't think I want them going into this station entrance. So the next logical thing would be to say, all right, we connect them somewhere down here. The stone outpost isn't going to be here forever, but it's going to be here for a while, so we probably don't want to intersect with that too much. So what if we come off here? That would leave us somewhere down here. Wouldn't be the worst thing, to be honest. It would not be the worst. I'm still trying to think about other types of trains I want in here. I can't shake the feeling that I'm missing something. Yeah, I think we'll just do it this way. Let's think. Let's do a little design here for a minute. So we could do those 2 as passenger rails, somewhat standing out here. Then those 4 could be FAL, outpost builder, disposal, and concrete. Seems alright. Then down here could be train storage. And I think that's about everything I need for this. Question is now, of course, how exactly do we do the stations themselves? Do we leave more of a gap, less of a gap? Let's grab ourselves a couple of locomotives and wagons to try around a little bit here. There you go. Also, I can't recall. Did I do this? No, I think I asked myself the question if I did actually do a coal chest before, but I think the most logical thing is just to say, yep, let's make all of them passive providers, then I definitely have enough coal. Right. So I think this layout is pretty solid. That sets off the utility trains from the passenger-only trains. So utility cargo, utility passenger. Now, if we had biters still, I would probably want to have a utility ammo station. So I might put that in case we want to re-enable biters at some point. And to be honest, I don't think that point will come, at least not in this campaign. Alright, so let's see. How does one do this? Oh yeah, let's grab a couple of coal stacks here. Alright, so let's have you run up to Talana. What is that? It strikes me as familiar somehow. Odd. Closest thing I can remember is something from Stargate SG-1, some planet called Tulana, but don't think that's it. Alright, so 151 will be one slow start, for sure. I mean, let's try. But the point is, these trains, they're all about getting a large quantity of stuff to where it needs to go. It doesn't need to go there particularly quickly, or with a fast acceleration at any rate, because max speed is still the same no matter how many locomotives you have. You can't go faster than 200 something kilometers per hour. So yeah, these things will be for traveling long distances. There's no real reason to make them accelerate very quickly. Now, as for the number of wagons, I think 5. 5 could be a pretty good call. Let's think about how to load these. So we would essentially do something like, alright, do a couple of storage chests here and there. And then the problem is obviously how do these go into the station? Because if we have them double-headed, it could well be that they enter the station facing a different way. So say we have a wagon with iron chests up there in the front and a wagon with smart inserters up there in the back. And we have this chest requesting smart inserters and the one chest here requesting iron chests. Nothing would stop the train, technically, from going into the station the other way. So we could just mirror and rotate this side. So take these requesters, rotate them, and just put them at the top again. That would be the easiest way to do that, in a way I have done it before. We could also say all the contents are mirrored. But I don't think that would serve any real purpose. And I also think 5 wagons should be more than enough, really. At least in my book. Another thing, Roboport coverage. So say we put a Roboport here. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to go much further than that. Although 6 would be possible. 161. Let's say we take you off. 6 wagons on either end. Now that's definitely still loadable. It's not symmetrical by any stretch of the imagination, but no, it doesn't really have to be. Another thing we could do is just have Roboports that's at the top and at the bottom and not care about that at all. I think that would be even preferable. Yeah. So we can have, if we have a Roboport here, we can have another one down here. And they have total coverage. So yeah, let's not worry about length at all. Yeah, there's definitely that's what she said joke in there somewhere. And you don't have to go that deep to find it. There's another. Alright, so 161. Maybe. Yeah, I think we'll sit somewhere in the vicinity of that. 161, 151. Maybe we'll even go up to 262. I mean, these are bound to accelerate like crap, really. That's not that bad, really. And I kind of like it when they feel a little sluggish. After all, these are heavy carriers. So I think we'll leave it at 1x1, or x is either going to be 5 or 6. I think it's going to depend on how many different goods we'll need for the outpost builder, and then we'll make the other ones fit that length. All right, so that's a start to the whole Railyard thing. In the next episode, we're hopefully gonna finish at least this upper part with the first few utility trains, and then the storage trains can come at some later date when we actually need them. So yeah, until the next time, and as always, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Grind. I shall see you soon.